My boys, the time has finally, and I mean finally, come for the Ultra Instinct build video and what I consider to be, without a doubt, the best UI build in this game at this moment in time. Now, I will say, this build is made more in mind of without limitations than as opposed to with limitations. If you are a with limits player, I'll have the stats up on screen as far as your attributes go as to what I would do if this build was made for with limitations. Because with limitations, your QQ Bang and your Super Soul don't come into effect, and both of those things play a major role in this build right here. Now, let's go over the stats and why I have the stats the way they are. I have 84 stamina, and some people may be like, huh? What? Stamina is the most important stat, especially for UI, considering it takes a bar every single time you dodge, right? Well, at the same time, I still have 15 bars of stamina, which is the max, with 84 points, as you guys will see. And again, that is due to my QQ Bang and Super Soul. So since I'm still able to have 15 bars of stamina with only 84 invested in there, it leaves me space to give 200 to basic attack, which I feel is a very, very important stat for Ultra Instinct, considering that is where your damage for your counter comes from once you are transformed. And then I put 138 into Ki Blast Supers, because I've always said it since day one, Ki Blast Supers are definitely much better than Strike Supers in this game. Usually there aren't many Strike Supers, or there never have really been many Strike Supers in the game that can compete with the top level Ki Supers in terms of damage and things along those lines, even though we have been getting some better ones in the last couple of DLCs and things like that. But still, Ki Blast Supers definitely reign supreme. But I will say, if you're someone who prefers to do Strike Supers, just put that 138 into the Strike Super category. Now, I also have 0 in Ki, which some people may be like, well, you need Ki to use the actual counter. At the same time, guys, we still have a good amount of Ki due to the QQ Bang and Super Soul, like I said before, as you will see once we actually load into training. Now let's take a look at the Super Soul and QQ Bang. I'm running power, a lot of power, it's great. The reason I'm running the Super Soul is because stamina and Ki are very important to Ultra Instinct, and this right here gives you 3 extra bars of each of those just based off the Super Soul itself. So that is why I have that Super Soul on. Now, in terms of my QQ Bang, guys, the QQ Bang that I have is not what I would say is the best possible QQ Bang for a UI build. It's just with the RNG, man, of, you know, how QQ Bang works and trying to get the perfect possible one. This is the best that I came up with in terms of what I would want and what I'm looking for in an Ultra Instinct build. Now, it has -1 in health, and then +5 Ki, +5 stamina, +3 basic, and +5 Ki Blast Super. Honestly, an optimal one that you would be looking for is something like +5 Ki, +5 stamina, +5 basic, and +5 Ki Blast without any negatives, because that is a possibility to have on this game. I've even had some people show me QQ Bangs where they have like +22 overall stats. This is only a +17 stat QQ Bang. It's just the best one that I have currently for the UI build that I'm running at this moment in time. Like I said, the best and most optimal one, if you have something like it, would definitely be +5 Ki, stamina basic, and Ki Blast Supers without any negatives, unless those negatives come in the Strike Super category. Like, I would much rather prefer that -1 that I have in health to be in the Strike Super category for this build, because then my health would not be affected at all, which I would definitely prefer because I'm not using Strike Supers at all with this build right here. So those are my QQ Bangs, or that is my QQ Bang and my Super Soul right there. Now, the skills don't really matter. Skills, when I do build videos like this, when I'm talking about more stat-based stuff, skills I like to leave up to you guys for like what you would want to do, but this is what I'm running right here. I got Shield Barrier just in case I want to use that alongside with Ultra Instinct to block out Ki Blast and block people from, like, you know, throwing a bunch of Ki shits at me, trying to get me to waste my stamina through dodges. I got Vanishing Ball because I just feel it's one of the best Ki Supers in the game, does a good amount of damage, and it also allows the combo to extend at the same time. Kaioken Kamehameha, again, one of the best Ki Supers in the game, does a lot of damage and does take 2 bars, so I do prefer it over 10 times 10, because times 10, unless you fully charge it, Kaioken is going to be doing more damage, and in most situations, unless your opponent's stamina broken, you cannot use a fully charged times 10 and actually land the skill. So that is why I like to run Kaioken usually on my builds. Now, I also have Burst Charge just in case, because you do need Ki for Ultra Instinct, it does take 2 bars of ki every time you use a counter. So your ki is going to be something that is essential and necessary. So anytime that I can get off a little burst charge, maybe here and there in the PvP match, I definitely would use it. And then as far as my ult skill, I just got Final Kamehameha because it's, you know, it's a good 5-bar ki ultimate. And Sign of Awakening just because it's an Ultra Instinct move. Now my evasive is energy fueled. I have always felt that this has been one of the best evasives in the game since day one. And then they also ended up making it a 2-bar evasive at the same time, and 2-bar evasives are definitely better than pretty much all other evasives. Like if you have a 2-bar evasive or 3-bar evasive, the 2-bar is always the best way to go. Now personally, I would prefer if they still made it to where all evasives were 3 bars, because it doesn't really make sense to me considering a regular stamina vanish does take 2 bars. But that is my build in terms of skill. What we're gonna do now, guys, is load into the training mode so you can see how my stats are, my health, my ki, my stamina, all things like that, and then you can also see the damage that I'm putting out with this build at the same time.
A few moments later.
Alright my boys, here we are in the training mode, and you can see, first and foremost, we got the 15 bars of stamina, which is absolutely crucial in my opinion for Ultra Instinct. You want to have as much stamina as possible, right? Then, at the same time, I have 11 bars of ki, even though I have 0 stats invested into my ki at the same time. So clearly that power, a lot of power, it's great. Super Soul is amazing for Ultra Instinct. It gives you a lot of ki so you can use your counters, and at the same time it gives you a ton of stamina as well, which is very essential for Ultra Instinct in a build like this right here. And I still do almost have 2.5 bars of health at the same time, even though I have nothing invested into it. That is still a decent amount for level 120, considering the simple fact that, you know, Ultra Instinct is more of a type of skill and Awoken where you're going to be dodging a lot more as opposed to be getting hit by things, right? So now let's just transform. Now I will say, you know, the transforming and showcasing the damage really has no effect. It's just might as well use the Awoken skill since that's what this is about, right? Now since we are transformed, I'm going to just showcase damage with basic attacks, things like that, so you guys can see. So let's do the male Saiyan strongest combo right here. We're getting a total of almost 7k damage with this build right here, which is very good considering that Ultra Instinct does not give any boost at all to your damage categories. It does kind of suck that it doesn't give any damage boost at all. It doesn't really make the most sense in my mind, but at the same time it is a way to balance it out considering you have that auto dodge feature as well. Now let's take a look at Ki Blast. For example, Vanishing Ball. Vanishing Ball is giving you almost 5,000 damage. And remember guys, with Vanishing Ball, you can combo extend with it like this right here. Boom, and then you're able to combo extend with that move, which is why I absolutely love it. It's a very good damaging move, has good tracking, and it allows you that ability to extend at the same time. Now keep in mind, it has to usually be used off of knockaways. On knockdowns, you have to be fairly close like that. How close I am right there to Trunks is near the limit of how close you can be with that skill. So just keep that in mind if you are putting that on your build with that move right there. It cannot be used on most knockdowns, especially if you are on a bigger map for sure. Now, Awoken Kamehameha. How much damage are we getting here? 6,940, almost 7k damage. Again, that is very good damage for a skill that does not boost your damage at all with Ultra Instinct. So let's just do a combo like this. Boom, boom. Knock him away into a Vanishing Ball, and you're looking at 12k damage right there with that combo. That's over a bar of health with that combo right there. So the damage is still very good, even though you get no percentage boost from Ultra Instinct at all. You're still able to do a good amount of damage with this build right here, which you definitely want. I mean, you want to do as much damage as possible without a doubt. So the next thing we're going to take a look at is how much damage I'm getting off of actual counters. So let's put Trunks to super strong, right? And now let's do a counter, and we're getting 3,384. It would be a little bit higher if I had a +5 QQ Bang. I believe it would be like 3,500 and something if my QQ Bang was +5 in that category. But at the same time, that is not bad damage at all for the counter. It's almost, you know, like 3.5 of a bar of health just from that counter right there. But again, the big issue with the counter is the simple fact that it does take 2 bars of ki to actually use, and of course a bar of stamina technically at the same time, because you have to dodge to be able to actually utilize that counter right there. But that is also why we have burst charge on this build right here, because there may be times where you do a knockdown combo or knock away or something along those lines where you can get in a quick burst charge maybe against your opponent, or maybe even bait them out with a quick burst charge. That's why it's definitely the best charge skill for PvP in general, in my opinion, because it is quick and you can get a good amount of ki instantly pretty much when you do use it. So now we're going to take the build online just to showcase the build in an online match so you guys can see it in a PvP setting and see how good it truly is at the same time. Alright, my boys, here we go with the PvP match. Now, one thing that I really don't like about this skill is this. Whoa, I went the wrong way. Is the simple fact that you do have to get to 5 bars, and not only that, you have to, it takes 5 bars away from you at the same time. That honestly really does suck in my opinion, and it's something that should not be a thing for this Awoken, because ki is so essential to it, it doesn't make much sense to me. I will take all this damage right here, that's fine, get my ki up. Good, let me get a clash. Probably gonna throw a key shit. Damn it, I was hoping he would actually attack. I'm screwed right here. He may be able to, if he knows what he's doing. Oh, he could have stamina broke me. He could have easily stamina broke me. Man, see, this is also the other issue I've noticed. When people run into Ultra Instinct, you see how he's not attacking really at all. People become very timid of it at the same time because, well, it's understandable. You get a free counter off of one single dodge. So That is one thing. Oh my god, I keep using that stupid key. Oh, I'm using it as a key cancel. It's not a key cancel. I gotta remember that. I have to absolutely remember that with this skill right here. Appreciate that. Oh, come on, game. Don't give him a clash on that right there. That's nonsense. I did not believe that was actually gonna hit him. Take this right here, my boy. Eat that. Let me get my combo extension off. Oh, you gonna eat another one? Yeah, you better use your stamina that time. But as you notice, people play a lot more, they change the way they play and they're a lot more cautious of it, so the dodge doesn't come into nearly as much effect as you would like it to if you were, you know, or I don't know what I was going to say, like playing normally, but that doesn't really make sense because I just did a soaring fist. Oh, he didn't take advantage though. Oh, that's gonna hurt. Oh, he could have stamina broke me and ended the match. I appreciate it. Nope, let me get out of there. Come here, my boy. Appreciate you. Now say goodbye. Get your ass on the ground. Oh, I wanted to hit him with a final Kamehameha. But again, you see, when people, you know, who have a better understanding of the game fight against Ultra Instinct, they don't let you utilize that dodge nearly as much. They play in a much more timid fashion, which I don't blame them for because it's very understandable. If you just sit back and kind of wait for the dodge, well, you're going to get countered if you just go in recklessly, right? So you have to play it against it in a different way, and you saw I wasn't really able to utilize the counter of that skill right there at all. And even when I tried to transform, I tried to use it in a part where he would actually be attacking me, and if he was actually smart and knew more about the skill, he could have just blocked the impact frame and boom, stamina broke me. Thank God he didn't, because I would have lost the match. But at the same time, it is a major issue with UI is the fact that people know about it and they play a completely different style once you are going up against it, kind of eliminating one of its strongest features in its counter at the same time. But you still need that stamina, you still need that key. That's why I run the Super Soul that I do, just in case you are able to get the counter off. Again, it does take those 2 bars away from you, and stamina, of course, regardless whether or not you're actually activating the counter or not, people are going to try to throw key shits at you, things like that from far, to try and get you to waste your stamina in that form as well. So overall, I don't think it's a very good PvP form, to be honest, unless you're running like a specific skill set build, things like data input, shield barrier, stuff like that, to just make the dodge absolutely insane and kind of make you vulnerable to almost everything within the game. But at the same time, that's not really a fun way to play it, and that's why I feel this is the best overall build for it at this moment in time, because this way you're still able to have fun, you're still able to do good damage, but it also does have the essentials of what you need for Ultra Instinct at this moment in time in Xenoverse 2. So again, overall, it's not necessarily a build I recommend for PvP, but if it is going to be something that you like to play with and use, this build right here in terms of your stats, your QQ Bang, and Super Soul are what you want to be running on Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2 without a doubt. So let me know you guys' thoughts on the build down below in the comments, and if you would do anything different to the build at the same time. But till next time, my boys, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and as always, hope you have a good one. Peace, y'all.